Okay. I have another section for you. I hope you get really excited as I'm always when I need to do this operation. And Don, a colleague of mine told me that this slide is hypnotizing, and you can stare at it for hours. So let's try. Yeah. So so Git allows you to do all the a lot of the operations, a lot of the commands of Git can be used interactively. So you can, for example, as you're creating a commit, maybe, let me give you an example. You've been working on this feature for a little bit. And as you were working on that feature, because it's been a while that you've been working on it, you also did a few tiny changes that are actually bug fixes. And they are not part of that feature that you were working on. So if you want to document and have a clean commits with your colleagues, it would be nice to split those different tasks into different commits. And Git allows you to do it without redoing, rebasing, and amending commits, but as you add stuff to your commit interactively as you go. And I want to show you the lighter weight version of this, which is an interactive add. There's also a slightly more fully fledged version that is an interactive commit, but we wouldn't have time to do that today. So I'll show you an interactive add. Check the time, we still have time, so let me show you how that works. Exciting. So if you've never done, has anyone ever done an interactive add or an interactive commit? We have a couple. Good. Then this is like fresh things that you guys tell me if it's useful. So let's see, I have a list of files. Okay, let's just do it live, as they say. I have no plan for this than to just show you. I want to do two changes to this file. I just rewrite the master, right? So I have an older version. It doesn't really matter. Let's do it like this. So I want to do two changes, and one change is a part of the work I'm doing, and something else should be maybe split in a different commit, just to be. So let's say, okay, I have the premise as we had here. Premise. I add here to do, Steve, please finish this. Add this thing. And then I realized that there's a couple of typos here that I wanted to change. I just change 3 random sentences, and just to show you slightly. I had a slightly better edit section, but I just want to show you. I did a couple of changes just randomly, and I want to show you how you can split them in as you add them to the staging area. So, okay, Git tells me, hey, there's a change to that file. If I do, I don't know if you guys know, you can do git diff, and you will see a dump of the changes. I've removed 1 line, I've added 5 more, and then interspersed here, there's some tiny changes to those lines too. So, same file, but I want to split those 2 changes into 2 different commits. One way to do it is adding interactively to the staging area as we go, and analyzing every hunk, so every small snippet of the changes that I've made, and decide if it goes into the next commit or not. So the way to do it is by typing git add -p, which as a patch is the way to do it interactively. And did we say episode 7? What was it? Add -p. Okay. This will dump into this screen that the first time you see it, you will get a bit scared. So I have a slide for you to explain what you're saying. So whenever you do an interactive operation that decides what goes into commit or what goes into the staging area, Git will walk you through all the tiny changes that you've made and ask you what to do. Do you want to add this change to the staging area? Yes or no? Do you want to quit this operation? And there's a whole range of things that you can do. So don't get scared. By pressing question mark, it will actually show you don't know what's happening. It should show you a list of options. I don't know why it's not doing it now. Anyway, so we see that Git has dumped me at the very first change that I made to the file and telling me, okay, you have removed that first line, you've added the premise, and you've cloned that line 5 times. Now, I can tell that I want this to go into the next commit. Git is asking me stage this hunk. So a hunk is a chunk of change. It's a chunk of a diff. And if I type yes, this change is going to be added to the index. So I go yes. And now Git dumps me into the next change. You remember I changed a few, end of words in here. And this is the one that I wanted to split out into a different commit. So I say, no, I don't want to stage this hunk. I don't want to add it to the next commit. And because I only did those changes, I only got 2 changes. Now if I look at Git status, this is interesting. So Git is telling me both that there is a change scheduled to be committed, and there's also a change that is not scheduled to be committed, and it's on the same file. This is where this interactive add becomes useful. Now you want to check which one is which. Well, the normal Git diff will show me things that is not yet into the staging area. So if you can see, the stuff that I left out is showing there, is showing here in the normal diff. If you want to see the change that you have, scheduled, that you already added to the staging area, you need to add the flag cached. So you can do git diff -- cached. This will show me a diff compared to what you're about to commit. So this will show that that change is scheduled to be committed. So now if I do git commit, remember not -a, because -a will add also the uncommitted changes to the staging area, but just git commit, and you go rework premise. This will do. See, this has committed, that created the commit of the first part, and we left the part that we left out. So now we have the latest commit as a new commit where we rework the premise. And now we can commit this one. In this case, we can say -a, so also add the changes. And I fixed some typos. And now I go to the top, sorry. That's 5. So you can see now I've split changes that I have made to a single file in 2 different commits by interactively telling which hunks, which small pieces of changes I wanted to add to the next commit or not.